You finally notice a quiet, terrifying flaw in yourself, and by the next morning, the entire world seems to be screaming it back at you. It feels like a cruel conspiracy, a heavy shadow that knows your exact coordinates and refuses to let you hide. If you are exhausted from running from your own mind, pull up a chair, sit with me in the quiet, and consider subscribing to the Psyche Unfolding channel so we can untangle this heavy web together. Have you ever had a day where you suddenly felt utterly unlovable? You wake up with a strange heaviness in your bones, a quiet whisper in the back of your head telling you that you are falling behind. And then, as you walk out of your front door, reality seems to bend specifically to prove that whisper right. You go to a cafe and the barista looks right past you. You walk down a crowded avenue, and every single person you pass seems to be laughing with a companion, deeply connected in a way you feel you will never be. You send a letter or a message to a friend, and 3 hours pass with no reply. By the time evening falls, you are carrying a mountain of evidence. You have collected thousands of tiny moments that all point to the same devastating conclusion. You think the universe is sending you a message. You think the world is a cold, locked door, and you are standing outside in the rain without a key. This is the deepest, darkest trick the human mind can play on a soul. It creates an invisible prison that travels with you wherever you go. When you are caught in this storm, it does not matter if you travel 10,000 kilometers away to a beautiful, sunlit shore. You will stand on that warm sand, look out at the vast ocean, and your eyes will immediately find the one piece of broken driftwood. Your mind will tell you that the driftwood is exactly like you, broken, washed up, and alone. You will ignore the infinite blue water. You will ignore the warmth of the sun on your skin, and you will focus entirely on the wreckage. This is why you feel so profoundly tired. You are carrying the weight of a world that seems to be constantly confirming your worst fears. But I want to tell you a secret about how we are built. I have spent my life watching the silent, beautiful theatre of human perception, and I have realized something that changes everything. Our minds are not passive mirrors reflecting reality perfectly. They are vast, ticking clockworks, massive engines of perception designed to sort through chaos. Every single minute, millions of pieces of visual and auditory information wash over you. If you tried to absorb every leaf, every footstep, every shadow within 10 meters of you, the delicate gears of your mind would lock up and freeze under the crushing weight. So, the clockwork has a brilliant safety mechanism. It creates a filter. It acts like a highly trained gatekeeper, only opening the doors for what it thinks is important. And what does it think is important? It thinks whatever you are currently focusing on is the absolute center of the universe. Think about a completely ordinary experience. Imagine you decide you want to buy a specific red wool coat for the winter. You have never owned a red coat before. You think about how it will look, how the heavy fabric will feel against the cold wind. The very next day, you step out onto the street, and what happens? You see a red coat walking out of the bakery. You see 2 more waiting at the corner. You see another one disappearing down a narrow alleyway. Within 24 hours, you have seen 15 red coats. Did a magical shipment of red coats suddenly arrive in your city overnight? No. The coats were always there. They were there last year, they were there last week, they were there yesterday. But your mind previously categorized them as useless background noise and filtered them out. The moment you gave the red coat importance, your mind opened a door and let it in. Now take that exact same flawless, efficient machinery and apply it to your darkest fears. When you tell yourself that you are a failure, you are handing your mind a deeply important assignment. You are telling your gatekeeper to look for failure. And because your mind loves you, because it wants to protect you and keep you prepared for danger, it goes out into the world and hunts for proof. It scans the millions of interactions, the countless faces, the endless sea of spoken words, and it filters out everything that does not fit the shape of failure. It throws away the 99 times you succeeded. It ignores the gentle smiles from strangers. It deletes the memories of your resilience. It only brings back the one awkward pause in a conversation. It brings back the one slight frown from a colleague. It presents this tiny, isolated fraction of reality to you and says, "Here is what you asked for." Imagine walking into an old abandoned house. The floorboards creak under your weight, and the air is thick with dust. You shout a word into the emptiness, and the walls echo it back to you. If you shout a word of fear, the house sounds terrifying. The sound bounces off the cold stone, magnifying until it sounds like an army of voices. But if you stand in that exact same room and speak a word of comfort, the house will sing comfort back to you. Your mind is that old house. It does not create the first voice, but it amplifies whatever you choose to speak into it. If you spend your days whispering that you are an imposter, the walls of your mind will roar it back to you in the voices of everyone you meet. This is not the universe speaking to you. This is not fate dealing you a cruel hand. This is simply your own magnificent attention, turned accidentally against yourself. You are not cursed. You are just wearing dark glasses and wondering why the sun never shines. When you feel like your mistakes are following you, when you feel like every passing conversation is an echo of your inadequacy, you must realize that you are the one holding the lantern. The world is neutral. The street is just a street. The silence of a friend is just silence. Perhaps they are just busy or sleeping. But your mind takes that empty space and fills it with your deepest anxiety. There is a strange, quiet comfort in this realization. If the world is not actually out to get you, then you do not have to fight the world anymore. You can stop bracing yourself for impact every time you step outside. You can look at the evidence your mind presents and say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but this is just a fraction of the truth." Imagine standing in a room made entirely of mirrors. If you hold up a single dark stone, every mirror will reflect that dark stone back at you. You will think you are surrounded by darkness. But the moment you put the stone down, the darkness vanishes from 100 reflections at once. The mirrors were never the enemy. They were only doing their job. This means the heavy burden you have been dragging around, filled with the rocks of all your perceived flaws, is something you chose to pick up. And because you chose to pick it up, you can choose to set it down. You have the power to change the filter. You have the power to give the clockwork a brand new assignment. It will not happen instantly. If you have spent 10 years telling your mind to look for danger, it will not learn to look for peace overnight. But the shift is possible. It begins with a single gentle choice. As we learn to turn this inner light toward gentler things, I invite you to subscribe to the Psyche Unfolding channel, so we can keep walking down this quiet, healing road together. Tomorrow when you wake up, I want you to try an experiment. Before you let the rush of the day begin, lie in the quiet for just 5 minutes. Breathe in deeply, hold it for 3 seconds, and let it out slowly. Tell your mind that today you are looking for evidence of grace. Tell it you are looking for moments of quiet survival, of unseen beauty. Give it the assignment to find things that are going right. It will feel unnatural at first. Your mind will try to hand you a dark stone out of pure habit. When it does, just look at it, acknowledge it, and gently ask it to keep searching. Walk down that exact same street that used to make you feel so small. But this time, let your eyes drift to the things you filtered out before. Notice the way the morning light catches the edge of a building, turning the cold stone into a warm, golden canvas. Notice the small, invisible kindnesses that hold the world together. Watch a stranger hold a heavy door open for someone else for just 2 extra seconds. Listen to the wind moving through the branches of a tree, a sound that has existed for thousands of years, entirely undisturbed by human anxiety. Notice how your heart continues to beat, effortlessly, perfectly, demanding nothing from you. You are surrounded by a symphony of things that are working beautifully. Think of how much energy it took to maintain the illusion of your own inadequacy. It takes a monumental amount of effort to constantly filter out the good, to block the sunlight, to build a fortress of sorrow around yourself. You have been working so hard. You must be so tired. It is okay to stop working now. It is okay to let the walls crumble. When the fortress falls, you are not left defenseless. You are left free. You are standing in an open field, feeling the gentle breeze on your face for the first time in what feels like 100 years. The world is not a stormy sea trying to drown you. It is a vast, calm ocean, and you have simply been focusing all your attention on the one single wave that broke against the rocks. When you pull your vision back, when you widen the lens, the ocean becomes glass. The air becomes breathable again. You will start to see evidence of your own strength everywhere you look. You will notice the times you smiled through a difficult day. You will notice the hundreds of small, correct decisions you make every single week. You will realize that the universe is not hunting you down. It is simply holding space for you to exist. You are not broken. You are simply deeply, perfectly human, operating a mind of staggering power. Now that you know how the machinery works, you never have to be its victim again. You can turn the spotlight away from the shadows. You can illuminate the path ahead. Feel the muscles in your shoulders dropping. Feel the tension in your jaw melting away. That heavy backpack you have carried for so many kilometers is sliding off your shoulders. Hear it hit the floor with a soft, final thud. You do not have to pick it back up. Step out of the heavy armor. Walk into the quiet, open space of this present moment. The light is here, and it has been waiting for you all along.